Hello. I wanted to share a little bit today on myself and being vegan and how this transformation occurred in my life and how it continues kind of to affect my life for the best and maybe open your eyes to an aspect of ethical vegetarianism or veganism that you might have not had before. When I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with a kidney disease, Bircher's disease. My kidneys do not filter animal protein very well, so I was recommended a small amount of animal protein in my diet, about as much meat that fits into the palm of your hand a day. And it was prescribed this by a Western doctor, and there was no mention of a vegan diet. However, at that time it wouldn't have mattered because I was going to eat whatever I was going to eat, and that was just it. So I ate like crazy, invincible eater. Just didn't have any connection there. I was just eating food to fill up, and when I was hungry, I ate, and there was no connection to my food, nothing there, and it's something that we put in our body 2 or 3 times a day, and it's vital. We are what we eat, and it's important. So about when I was 28 years old, 27, I moved in with a guy who was a personal health coach, personal trainer, and he opened up me to the idea of eating local grass-fed beef and local dairy, local eggs, all of this stuff. He was all about it, and I've learned about how bad factory farming is. So get out to your local farms if you can, and buy from them, because factory farms are very, very bad and very, very detrimental to our health and to the environment's health. So I moved in with him, and I had this change, and I was eating organic foods, vegetables, and grass-fed meats from local farms, and I would go to this place and get my milk and my raw milk and get my raw eggs and all this wonderful stuff at the time for that phase of diet and life that I was in. And then there was just something inside of me that was searching for a change. I had been kind of going to this vegan cafe and drinking a green juice every day for about a year and a half when I would do hot yoga. I would get out of that hot yoga class, and I would go to this little vegan cafe, and I get a big alkaline battery. It was like kale juice, cucumber, celery, lemon, parsley. I would just crush it. Oh, it was delicious. And something just kind of changed in me. I started to wake up to the fact that I wasn't going to be here forever, and I wanted to be here as long as I could, and that was directly related to my health. My longevity is definitely related to my health. So I drew that connection, and I became vegan. And I volunteered with my buddy that had that vegan cafe, and he taught me how to cook and dehydrate things. We were making cashew cheeses, and really opening up me to the vast amount of joy and delicacies in vegan cuisine. So I took that, and I was off and running. And around the same time, I found the yoga method that I practice now, which is Jivamukti. And I had taken some classes and things, and they were talking about ahimsa, non-harming, The Sanskrit word is ahimsa. And how they supported a vegetarian diet, vegan diet. Vegetarian, that word does not need to be used because it refers to milk and dairy these days. Somewhere down the line, a vegetarian, a person that eats plants, somehow was able to eat milk and cheese and all that stuff. So I don't really know how that happened, but it did. So anyway, so Jivamukti, and I'd been practicing yoga for a couple years, and then I found Jivamukti, and I liked the style of the practice and the fact that they were vegetarian or vegan, excuse me, and or I could say ethical vegetarian. And I started practicing there, and it was just right in line with what I was doing for my health at that time. And as I continued to be vegan, I made a few pitfalls. I think I had a slice of cheese pizza, in those first 6 months and things. And I'm not really strict. If I eat something because I didn't ask the right question at a restaurant and it had eggs in it or milk, I'll just be like, oh, well, it's next time I'll ask a better question, or it just is, And another guy I know, he calls it gratitarianism, where if you're somewhere and there's just nothing vegan there, and you're at someone's home and in this kind of setting, to if something's got some butter in it or something like that, just to go for it, to be grateful for what you're given at that time amongst that sort of fellowship. And that's kind of where I am. I'm not like I'm gonna send something back if I ordered incorrectly or anything like that. But through the veganism diet for me, it has opened up a side of compassion in me that has just blossomed. Because when I first started, I didn't get the compassion things. Like, I was really just doing it for health. I was like, animals, yeah, I don't know, they're cool. I like dogs, and that was kind of where I was at that point. So there wasn't a connection. But after practicing yoga and veganism, you start to develop compassion, and it spills over into your life, and it's huge. Your compassion for your diet spills over into compassion for humanity, compassion for everybody that you come in contact with. And then that compassion, it's just love. And you learn that you really, I don't really love everybody. I'm trying to get that way, but I'm not there yet. And it's just been beautiful. The compassionate side of the vegetarianism brought up has been great. So, but being vegan, your first 6 months, you're going to go through some detoxification symptoms and things like that. I mean, you're getting rid of mucus and years of dairy and cheese. Dairy and cheese produce mucus in the body and phlegm like no other. I always used to get ear infections as a child and things like that, and I'd get them a lot, and Lord knows if I had probably not been drinking milk as much, they might have not as been as severe or less in frequency. So you detox, you go through that, you lose weight. I think over 1.5 years, 2 years after adopting the vegan diet, I dropped like 45 pounds. Which was nice, which I needed to lose, and it's been a joyful experience. And you're able to go to other cities and other houses, friends' houses and families, and go into these places and enjoy a vegan meal, it's really wonderful. They have stuff that you haven't ever had vegan before. Like I was in New York and I had like a mock fried chicken. And I don't really like to eat the super processed stuff too much as a vegan, but I had it because I was in Manhattan and it happened to be there, and I was like, why not? So it's interesting, and as my taste buds have changed, I'll eat something that's like a burger or vegan burger or vegan hot dog, and with ketchup and mustard on those two things, it tastes the same now. I can't even remember what the other stuff was like. So being vegan for me has been a great step in the right direction. Health wise, mentally, more clarity, just all around good. It's been a very joyful process. So, I don't hate for anybody eating beef. I got no beef there, no pun intended. But this is my truth, and I just kind of wanted to share it with whoever was interested in hearing it, because I feel like there's a lot around veganism, a lot of kind of harsh stereotypes and things like this that aren't really true. It's not that radical. It's pretty radical and crazy. It's crazy, but I'm crazy, and I guess I'm radical. So maybe you could try and be radical too. So that's really all I've got on me and being vegan for today. I encourage you to try it. Maybe go meatless Mondays or try it for a month and see what happens. What happens to a lot of people is they try it and they get sick because they're detoxing and they think it's not going to work for them. They don't really get over the hump there. I think even after a year I've been vegan, I remember I went through a little phase. I was like, oh, I'm getting rid of something right now. I was detoxing, and that's just one of the things. I ate 27 years in standard American diet, a sad diet, and you got to get the funk out. So that's all I've got for today. Namaste.